Hi lovely viewers, it's me again, your one and only Mutati Mpundu. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my channel, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting the red subscribe button down below and turn the bell icon to join the notification squad. Don't forget to like, share and leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you lovely viewers.
Still interested in returning to power. What would you do differently? Why would Zambian people listen to you? And yeah, that is, let me now take the cause. That was Linda Banks. We take now the cause that are, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ambassador Mwamba. And thank you so much for bringing Mr. Luvinda. Mr. Luvinda, I'm happy that you've spoken about opposition unity. And I really see you as a leader, because despite all the mingalatos from our president to divide, to destroy the PF, you've stood in the midst of a crisis to put that party together. Now what we want you is to work with other opposition to come, to join the United Front. That's what Zambians want. Now I've got three quick questions. The first question I've got, Valuvinda, is what is your passion for Zambia? Then the second question, if you had an opportunity to become a president of Zambia, what is that one thing or the priority that you're gonna, what is the priority thing you're gonna do on the first day? I'll give an example. An American president on the first day will sign, what they call, which is equivalent to Zambia, which is equivalent to Zambia as a statutory instrument to change one thing. What is that you want to change for Zambia? And the last question is, what is the biggest challenge standing between Zambia and sustained development and growth? I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's just take a few calls. Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
Good evening, the acting president, PF. Yeah, Washington.
Yeah, hello, Washington, are you cut? Hello.
The acting president, together with the PF, they should stand strong and put in place the leadership that is required. Never should they be intimidated with anything that is happening. The focus should be how they can unite together as a party. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you very much. I'm Donoska. I'm calling from Italy. Good evening, Honorable Luvinda. Good evening, everybody. Emmanuel Mwamba, thank you very much for the beautiful program that you are really giving the Zambian people in a time when there is no freedom of speech in our country, unfortunately. Thank you very much. And good evening, the viewers and all the listeners. I'm Donoska. I'm a Catholic priest. By giving Luvinda, there's something that first of all, I have to appreciate about you. You have stayed very closely to Dr. ECL in the time when it was very difficult situation. Honorable Given Luvinda, it's not your fault. It's not the fault of the PF that there is a confusion in the party. It's not your fault, I repeat. And it's not the fault of the PF that there is a confusion. Now, we have a reality where I have to mention this. Please listen. Please, Ramwamba, give me 2 minutes. Let me speak out on this matter.
Father Oscar, just a minute. Father Oscar, Honorable Given Luwinda, is a Catholic priest based in Italy, Father Oscar Mwansampombo. For that reason, he does have measurable more time than. So I'll allow you to speak. Please say your thoughts.
Thank you so much. But Given Luwinda, we decampaigned you. I was one of the people who was there on the TV Bakwetu of the last Munsha. With Dr. Kasonso, with my sister Lilian Mutambo, with Linda Banks, with Pumulos Tumbeko. I am not going to get ashamed to speak about my history. This, by Dr. Luwinda, this is the history. We come from a position where we were accusing you of certain things. Now we come now to what is happening in the country. Given Luwinda, I appreciate you have been there this time when ECL was being persecuted. All of us, the Zambian people, we have seen. I felt embarrassed as a Zambian citizen to see how South Africa gave security to the former First Lady, Madam Edgar Lungu in South Africa. And in our country, that woman has been treated like a delinquent. But Given Luwinda, we want to Akwalesa. Zambia Hakainde Chileba of 2021 is the only opposition party of Hakainde 2025. I repeat, President Hakainde Chilema of 2021 is the best opposition political party of Hakainde Chilema of 2025. So, Imaba Luwinda, you don't have to fight so much. There is nothing much that you are supposed to fight. Echo nomba ture chula kubonsefu. Echo abantu abena Zambia wale chula. Na inewe inecho nde chula konoko turi. I'm a Catholic priest. I'm not a politician. But patuafika pa na ifofu ina Katolika, even if I'm not a politician, twaingira mokweba chawe chalo chesu twali chitemwa. We love our country and we want our country to do something much better than it has done. Luwinda, the confusion which is there, Tonsi Alliance, the question of who you spokesperson of Tonsi Alliance, Sean Tembo, Luwinda, the confusion which is not in Luwinda, the confusion PF, Babula, Babika Kuri Chavinga. First of all, it's not Chavinga, Bapele Mausampa. No, by nature, Luwinda, and therefore, Kulidani, Nafukamapa. Nanachquata video, I was going to show you, I'm going to kneel down. Now I'm telling you, I'm kneeling down. And I'm kneeling down, I'm telling you this. Luwinda, Given Luwinda. Look at how President Hakainde Chilema is misusing you people from Northern Province and Eastern Province. He used Mao Sampa. He has used Robert Chavinga. He's using many other people from Northern Province and Eastern. Even the one who forwarded the case in South Africa, we will remember.
Robert Chavinga.
Yes, Chavinga. No. What South Africa?
Oh, Vincent Kafula. Vincent Kafula.
Kafula Luwinda. Kafula wakumwesu. Chavinga wakumwesu. Mausampa wakumwesu. Given Luwinda. Why are you allowing to be used by this man? Why are you being used? What is the problem? This is shameful. Wabantu wakwanesa. Tayari wakumweso. Uyu wakuwa murusaka atishani uyu wakuwa Amerika atishani ulande
Simon Mwewa.
Simon Mwewa wakumweso. Balubinda Simon Mwewa wakumweso. Tayari wakumweso. Sabinga wakumweso. Masampa wakumweso. Ninshi wala miwonte shaimwe. This is painful. So, from here, go back and reflect seriously. If Hakainde Chilema will win elections in 2026, it's not because Hakainde Chilema is a good leader, but it's because by giving Luinda you, I'm pointing at you, giving Luinda you, you are going to betray the Zambian people. And please, kneel down before God. Ask God to give blessings so that in the history of the Zambian, you are not going to be put on the list of those who betrayed the Zambian people. I pray for you. I'm going to pray for you. Give a Luinda. Don't be like Mausampa, Chavinga, maybe Chilufya Taluna Ena, maybe, I don't know. Maybe Harikaraba, Naena Harikaraba, maybe it's going to be used. Harikaraba, you are going to be used by Akande Chilema. Insoni, Natumfu Equensoni. Nangutama kwa tensoni, na papat. Thank you so much, Honorable, and thank you so much, all the viewers. Thank you.
Father, let me ask, your remarks, especially when you attach them to tribe, raises concern. Put clarification to that.
Yes.
Put clarification to that, because it creates discomfort when you attach national unity to issues of tribe. Just clarify.
I am going to clarify because where I am here, in the Kurom, I'm going to clarify this, and the Zambian people listen to the question of tribes in Zambia. For me, I have no problem with the question of tribes because I have my brothers and my friends from the southern province, eastern, western province, northwestern, southwestern province, Ruapula province, Muchinga, and central, and Copper Belt province, Narusaka. They have friends all over the shore. When we say this, it's what we are reading on paper. In Okonokotuli, Monen, by Emmanuel Mwamba, yesterday, 2 days ago, we had a vigil in Trafalgar Square, Kurom, Kwadi, 1.5 million youth coming from all over the world. There were also Zambians from Kitwe, from Ndola Diocese, and from Lusaka Diocese, all over the shore. So when we are talking about ourselves, we are saying, we are asking them questions. Where do you come from? Peru. Where do you come from? Japan. Where do you come from? Zambia. I have never been a tribalist. I've never had any friend of mine. My best friend at Chiwala Secondary School was Imwinga. He was from Monze Diocese. He was a Tonga guy. Was my best friend. So I have nothing to do with the tribe. The tribe question, Zambian people, friend, is a question of the imperialists. I'm telling you this. I'm here in Europe. And if what I'm saying is wrong, Emmanuel Mwamba is going to tell me. Emmanuel Mwamba is going to tell me whether what I'm saying is wrong. Here in Europe, they respect all the tribes and the races. When we laugh about the Chinese, it's not a case. It's just a joke. When I laugh about the Italians, it's not a case, a police case, is just a joke. When they laugh about me as a Zambian, I'm telling you what they call me. They call me that. I'm like a monkey. Because I'm a black person, I'm like a monkey. I eat from the tree. But I've never taken anybody to the court of law. And I stay in Europe. Why should we hate ourselves? So there is nothing like tribalism. I have nothing like segregation myself. I love all my brothers. Tangas, Yanja, Mumbo, Kaonde, Kaluwale.
Okay, Father. Okay, Father. I think you've made your point. I was just concerned. Because when you picked out these men and you said they are being used because of their tribe, I wanted a clarification. Because my stand against tribalism, even Honorable Given Lubinda, is quite strong. But I understand the point you are trying to drive. Issues of tribe should never come into our politics. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. My name is Isaac Mulezuma Njovu, and I'm calling you from United Kingdom.
Yes.
Thank you. Greetings, Honorable Ambassador Mwamba, and also greetings to the President, Honorable Given Lubinda. Thank you. My question is direct to the acting President. Sir, considering with the happenings that has engulfed in PF, with how much, of course, the executive, including the judiciary in Zambia, have paid deliberate, of course, attention to what you have gone to the courts to get justice, which is not being delivered or given to you as the legitimate leaders of the Patriotic Front. What other avenues, considering you are our acting president, because the membership across the globe are asking to say, what is the next step of action before we begin to talk about going to the convention? What other avenues, sir, through you, your office, are we going to use, considering the Chief Justice is ignoring what is being presented or what the matter are in courts today, to give back the PF to the right, legitimate owners of the party? What other avenues are we going to use so that the Patriotic Front can get back and continue, of course, being a voice and a voice for the poor Zambians?
Thank you, Isaac. Thank you. Yeah, callers, I want to take as many calls as possible quickly so that we can allow Honorable Given Lubinda to answer. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, and good evening, Dr. Lubinda. This is Mr. Zulu Thomas in Lusaka, the Gen Z movement.
Oh, yes, my brother. Make your contribution.
Yes, I would like to encourage Dr. Lubinda to soldier on. He has been leading the Tonse Alliance, Opposition Front, and the PF. As he has said, HH is going to be brutal going forward. But we should not waver and we should not fear. We should go on. HH is already gone. Next year, we're just waiting to vote. And as he has said, the opposition must unite. We need to unite and time is gone. So I'm just encouraging him and all the opposition leaders. Please, let's soldier on and quickly find the torchbearer. Thank you very much. And for you, Mr. Mwamba, your program, please continue hosting it. We are getting it. We are spoiled for choice on which platform to get you. Plenty of platforms are running your program. So congratulations and continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Just take a few calls again so that we have a reflection. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello, kina mamsonda kwanu, balumele Shangwe. Enisha, namhulu balubu walwenda niwa na balumele. I am calling and I am very concerned that I can listen to my fellow brother in the name of the Mpundu or whatever his name is, to use Christianity to segregate people. I am so disheartened that the PF don't seem to really understand the ramifications of this tribalism and where we've come from. You were perpetrators when you were in power using tribalism. You want to continue to be perpetrators when you are in the opposition.
My dear sister, my dear sister. No, just a minute. No. Ima, just a minute. Just yeah. The person who has called, just a minute. Let me not argue with you. The person who has called Father Oscar Pombo is not Patriotic Front. In fact, as he confessed himself, he even was part of those that contributed to the removal of President Hakainde Hichilema. He has supported, so you can't say the PF. And Father,
why I'm saying the PF.
Yeah, I don't want to argue with you. I just wanted to clarify.
Are being perpetrated using your platform.
No.
For your numbers.
Again, Again, let
extremely wrong.
My dear sister, I want to give you room. My sister, you are not listening.
Don't take us back so many years.
I want to control the program. Madam, just wait. Are you listening?
No,
Oh, she's not listening.
Mulwenda was talking about the announcement of the death of the Republican president. You play videos, remember, when you are trying to betray a point. I would ask you to play a video when Honorable Luvinda was announcing the death of Edgar Lungu. He was so animated to a point that I recall him saying that what he was declaring was a national mourning, and that was the official national mourning. I would like to ask him, in what capacity was he declaring an official national mourning, but over and above that, still expect Hakainde Hichilema to come and declare a national mourning? You know, at some point when there are heated issues, somebody has to take a backseat to see how far you can go. He further went on and wrote a letter. Pull up that letter and see the words that were used by Given Luvinda. He literally made that this funeral was a PF funeral. We were led by Edgar Lungu. We wanted to mourn Edgar Lungu. But even us, who were with you, trying to mourn, you've left us in a situation where we don't know whether we are mourning, we don't know whether we are watching. Please, can you put the interest of the country at heart? Both yourselves, the UPND, we are tired of this politics of divide and rule to push your numbers. Get your act together. Thank you.
Honorable Given Luvinda, the issue of tribe might escalate. Father Oscar Pombo Mwansa, like I explained, was part of the Bakwetu. He supported President Hakainde Hichilema. He has become his biggest critic. I got concerned when he referred to tribe, and you saw my interference in his discourse. I think the issue of tribe, we've made it very, very clear. You know, we do not tolerate it. I understand what Father Pombo is trying to say is that in his strategy, President Hakainde appears to be using the people he's fighting, because President Hakainde Hichilema has been accused of practicing tribalism, of appointing people from his tribe and region. He's at the center of the tribal politics to diffuse the politics of tribe. Like you had said, he never arrests those people that insult others, that issue hate speech. He never does that, but he's quick to implement laws, arrest people that he accuses of speaking, for example, in the manner that the father spoke. Just speak to the issue of tribe, because the issue of tribe is very sensitive. Our debate is going to degenerate to tribe, and that's not the purpose of this platform.
No,
but let me just get your views before we go back to callers.
Ambassador, I can tell you that you and I will not allow that this program degenerates into being a tribal issue. And the lady who called, Mamusonda, I don't know what she said, Mamusonda or something like that, I think missed the point. If I listened very well to Father was making reference to people whom he thinks have been used to destabilize the Patriotic Front. He mentioned particular names, and he said these are people from my region, his region, not Luvinda's region, but father's region. And he was saying, please, you don't allow to be abused. And that is how you intervened to say, are you talking about tribe generally? And he also explained that he wasn't speaking about tribe generally. You have stated very clearly, Ambassador, that I am beyond tribe. And the reason why I go by the name Zayelo, it is not necessarily because of the pigmentation of my skin. It is because I am universal. I carry no tribe. And I associate with every Zambian as a Zambian. I have a mother who hails from where Mamusonda hails from. I also have a mother who hails from the Central Province. As a matter of fact, Mamusonda may be interested to know that I am headman in both of these regions. I have children from Chief Mushota, Avena Chishinga. I have children born of a Tonga woman. I know no tribe, and I have no time whatsoever for anyone who treads on tribe. I would like that lady to also know that I'm one of the founding members of the UPND. And the reason I left the UPND in 2006, even after I won by a landslide at the convention of the UPND in 2006, was because of the statements that were being issued, which I'm sure that woman is aware of. If she has been following politics in Zambia, she knows what happened at the 2006 UPND convention. That is what made me leave. Now, being a person, a product of a woman who is from Western Province and also partly from Central Province, having lived amongst my brothers and sisters in Southern Province, she would have expected me to belong to the UPND. I chose that I am beyond tribe. I have been a member of the Patriotic Front without consideration of tribe, because in the Patriotic Front, I mingle with people from all tribes in Zambia. And I see no person in the Patriotic Front who will survive in the event that they want to use tribe, because members of the Patriotic Front have gone beyond that. Members of the Patriotic Front are complaining about how tribe is taking center stage. And our number one ambition is to ensure that we unite the country beyond tribe. So I don't think that Ambassador and myself would allow that anyone tries to degenerate our program into being a matter of tribe. What I would like to just respond to that lady, she said that I declared a day of or period of national mourning. No, I didn't. I did not declare national mourning. I declared mourning for members of my dear political party. And I did that because your president, President Hakainde Hichilema, and his government did not do what was expected of them. Number one, to announce officially the demise of a former head of state. And number two, to declare solemn period of national mourning. He came to declare 7 days, 2 days after I had already declared mourning for members of the Patriotic Front. I did not say people must go to Belvedere or go to Woodlands Stadium or go to Hero Stadium. I asked members of the Patriotic Front to gather at our secretariat and to gather at our offices. And
thank you, Acting President. Let's revert. I think it was very important that you set that tone, and I hope that we can have time. You know, today they were putting to rest Honorable Axon Sejani, former Minister of Local Government, and I remember his role at the conference you are talking about. You know, himself, Emon Rex Intala and Siache Madienkuku promoted the tribal agenda there. But of course, a man is dead, was being put to rest. It would not be the appropriate time to discuss him. The issue of tribe is very concerning, and how we handle it is very important to the national unity of this country. Dr. Kaunda was very clear. And what President Hakainde Hichilema has been doing, he has not helped in healing this nation. Callers, let's now go back to our dear callers, because the numbers, the phones are buzzing. They want to speak to Honorable Winda. Caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Ambassador.
Yes, please. You're live on EMV.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. This is Chilamba Mlenga from England.
Yes,
I'm in
Chilamba.
London. Yeah, sure. So I think I was a little bit on a break when I was listening to. Is it the father from Italy who was talking about something to do with tribe and why people are being used in the PF? I think let's remove the aspect of tribe when we're talking about people being used. Okay, because if you're going to be emphasizing more on tribe, it will be very, very difficult for us to build up. And even the people in the opposition, it will be very difficult for them to build up. Because I say so, when you attach tribe to anything that you are doing, it will just be taking us back. We want to build a Zambia where tribe will have no place in our society. For example, I'll tell you this. I feel very ashamed to talk to my friends who are from different tribes, because when we are talking about tribe, more especially in the PF party, it really pains. So I would encourage that everyone, whenever they are talking about issues to do with politics, let us stick to issue-based politics and nothing to do with tribe.
Thank you, my brother.
I don't know if there's a time to ask a question. I'd love to ask the rest.
Quickly. There are so many people waiting.
Yeah, sure. So I just want to find out, like, what's the way forward with this noise that we are hearing? Are we going to, is the party going to go with the Tonse Alliance, looking at the behavior of some members of the Tonse Alliance, or the PF is planning to go ahead and do something on their own? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yes. Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. My name is Freddie Tematema, and I'm calling from England. To begin with, I would like to thank you for having brought Honorable Given Lubinda. I've known Given Lubinda from the 1980s when he was president of a union at an institution where we attended together. And he has been a good man in as far as I'm concerned. I've never had any issues with him. And I've never seen anything tribal about him. So that issue to do with tribalism, I think it's not circulating around Given Lubinda. No. What I wanted to talk about today is something new. And I think this new thing is likely to help improve the situation which we find ourselves in Zambia. Sometimes we get engrossed in terminology that we don't comprehend completely because we've inherited the terminology from English, which we've studied from primary or other people that were lucky from kindergarten. What I want to draw attention to all Zambians is to this national anthem which we sing. I think once you study it, maybe we should stop singing it. We should be reading it and understand what exactly the message is all about. It talks about unity. When I look at the Bible, they say Zambia is a Christian nation, and I believe so. We should also ask ourselves, how many times does the Bible talk about unity? Honorable Given Lubinda had talked about unity as yielding best for each individual participating in that unity. When we were very young, I remember sticks were held, matchsticks. They broke one very easily. When they put many of them together, it was difficult to break them That was the time when we were talking about an injury to one is an injury to all. Even Lubinda may remember those words. What I'm trying to say is that this situation which is happening here today, if we are not careful, it will be worsening. Anyone who is going to take over from the current president, HH, may get worse than HH is today, because we are using what I call divisive political language. And I'm of the belief that we can do something completely different from what everyone else is doing in the world. And we remove this word to begin with, which we call parties. And we just call them teams, thinking teams. If I brought all the opposition party leaders, some of them who are in Tonsi today, and gave them 20 questions, and one of the most important questions being, what do you want to do for Zambia? Most likely, all of them will give us almost the same things.
My dear brother, let me just take a few calls. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening. I will remain anonymous.
Anonymous, make your contribution.
Thank you very much. I have a few questions for President Luwinda. Not too long ago, we had our priest brother from Rome. I think he owes Zambians an apology the way he came out. He was trying to put a point across, but the language that he used, and that is what Lamwamba, you immediately reacted, and it was good that you had to interrupt and just to clarify, and you being the host, I think it was important that you set the benchmark on what is allowed, what is appropriate, and what we must shy away from. I think, my brother, what he needed to have used, the word was maybe integrity instead of people being used. We can critique each other by using maybe that type of leadership lacks integrity for them. So I think that one will be much more appropriate than starting to regionalize and labeling people in that regard. And it's no surprising that our sister reacted in the manner she did. Now, moving forward, Baluwinda, you have spoken about not leaving anybody behind in the uniting. And you have led Zambia. Your party has led Zambia. You have lessons. People reacted. You lost an election. What lessons? One of the major things that have been criticized by the PF regime was tribalism and, of course, cadreism. Now, in the face of wanting to show the Zambian people, and looking at how still united you are, which is a commendable job and, admirable, how are you responding to the Zambian people to see that, to give them hope that what they said no to is not going to happen? One thing that we would like to see, I personally, would be how is the formation of your executive? Not too long ago, I will give reference to Bamwamba again. Bamwamba is hosting. This is his platform. Somebody came in and had some sentiments that did not go appropriately. 2 weeks ago, if not a week ago, we have seen a picture, a portrait of aspiring candidates, a poll of some sorts, where people are asking, who do you think should lead the Patriotic Front? I'm not too sure whether that has been endorsed by your leadership, but looking at you as a leader, and when you look at the faces that are there, already scares a lot of Zambians, that already it is regional. Don't you think this is the time that whether the Patriotic Front approves it or not, should go out and issue a statement to say, kindly ignore what is being paraded. This has not been endorsed by the Patriotic Front. Because that already is showing to us, the Zambian people, that the PF are very sensitive to such kind of things happening.
Thank you, my dear sister. Thank you, my dear sister.
Just last one. Just the last one, Bamwamba, sorry. Another one is, when you go into an alliance, my concern is, if other political party leadership endorses a candidate from the Patriotic Front, what will be their claim do they automatically get a minister position in the government? Is that what we are saying? I would like you to dwell on that. What would be the criteria for this alliance where we're talking of everybody must go to filter in one? What will be at stake for these other supporters of that candidature?
Thank you very much, my guest. Thank you. Hello, my last caller, so that I allow Honorable Given Lubinda to answer. I'll give guidance of how we'll proceed after this. Yes, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Thank you, Ambassador Chanda in the U.S.
Yes, Chanda.
Good evening, Honorable Lubinda.
Yeah.
Honorable Lubinda, it is very clear that the Patriotic Front is probably one of the most loved political parties in the history of the country. Okay, people love it. People are hurting that the party is not in power, and we must acknowledge the fact that it was mainly due to the violence by the cadres, right? And once we look ourselves in the mirror and agree that this is actually what led us to lose power, what measures are you putting in place if the Zambian people trusted you again with the reins of power? What measures are you putting in place to ensure that that never repeats itself? Number one. Number two, I want to make a very, very provocative proposal to you and the Zambian people. In my right thinking mind, I don't think Zambia needs the number of political parties we have. Would you be up to open a discussion, national discussion, to change the constitution to limit the number of political parties to 3? In our current state, the confusion we see is because we have opened up the floodgates and basically diluted the knowledge and the intelligence that we have into too many groupings. I believe if we focused on changing our political structure, only allowing democratically, of course, through a democratic process, allow for only 3 political parties to exist. If you can't identify yourself with political party 1, you go to 2 or 3, or 3 to 2 to 1. I rest my case. I wish you all the best, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, this is how we'll proceed. Honorable Given Lubinda, you've had a myriad of questions, but it's late in the night. You are in Johannesburg. You are not at your house. I think it's important that we allow you to quickly go home safely. I'll answer that cause later. This is what we are going to do, callers. I'll allow the acting president, Honorable Given Lubinda, to answer the questions and reflections so far, and then give his last remarks. Then for the next 20-30 minutes, I'm going to take your calls. He'll be listening in, but those questions that I can answer, I'll allow him to. For security and other reasons, I have to allow Honorable Given Lubinda to go. It's very late in Johannesburg, in Sandton, where he is, and I think that information is enough. We have to allow him to leave. Also, my technical team that are hosting him. But I'll remain here. You remain connected, and you still can call. We are going to take questions. So let's allow Honorable Given Lubinda to give his reflections, and then we allow him to leave. Honorable Given Lubinda. For one reason or another, we don't seem to have volume. Honorable Vice President, we don't seem to have volume. Let me just sort that out quickly. Let me sort out that quickly. For one reason or another, we don't seem to have volume.
Africa, one nation, one nation.
Are we all right now? Do you have volume there?
Yes, I have volume. Can you hear me?
Yes, I have volume. Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, wonderful. So we may proceed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Ambassador. I was saying first that I was very grateful to you for being so considerate that you would like to allow me to leave so that I can be in safety. And I said I would like to respond to the very last question that was posed by our dear brother from the US. And the last question he posed was whether I would be in support of an idea to amend the Constitution, the Republican Constitution, to limit the number of political parties to either 2 or 3. I can understand where he's coming from. When you have a proliferation of political parties, you tend to divide votes. And because of that, you also reduce on the effectiveness of the opposition because of the different policy positions that would be had by different political parties. However, my position is that that wouldn't be a preposition that I would support. I am a firm believer in the freedom of association, and the Republican Constitution should not be used to stop people from establishing political parties or organizations through which they would like to express their views. However, my personal view is that as democracy grows, the number of political parties also tends to reduce. And as you can see in Zambia, in the 2021, in the run-up to the 2021 elections, a number of political parties gravitated together. We had the UPND alliance with a number of political parties. And you also had a number of political parties that gravitated towards the Patriotic Front. You also see that happening now. We have some alliances coming up. And I'm sure that with time, we'll end up with predominant political parties. There will be a lot of other parties, but they will all be small political parties that will only be useful for alliances, parties that cannot stand in an election on their own. And this is, I think, the best practice to develop, rather than us limiting the number of political parties using the Constitution. My friend also mentioned the fact that the PF is the most loved political party in Zambia. Yes, indeed. And I thank you for recognizing that, and thank you for reminding us that the Patriotic Front is the most loved party. This again goes to answer the question that you talked about limiting the number of political parties in Zambia. People have been saying that once a political party loses government, it never comes back. We are now at the crossroads, and the Patriotic Front, with its alliance partners in Tonse, and with our hope and work and effort towards harmonizing all the other opposition political parties, we are quite confident that the Patriotic Front will form government together with its partners in 2026. And once that happens, we'll be consolidating the position I spoke about, that there'll be predominant political parties who will continue to be in the leadership of providing political space for the citizens. The cadres, and I'll combine this question with the question that was asked by somebody who called earlier, are there any lessons that we have learned? Certainly, there are many lessons that we've learned. There are many lessons that we learned from our defeat. One of the most important questions or lessons we learned is that we should not run away from ensuring that people are adequately informed about what we're doing, about the different facets of life and the different facets of leadership. I have to concede that we lost our guard with regard to media space. We allowed the UPND to dominate the media space to a point where they were the only ones who were being heard effectively. And they went around, projected us in very, very bad light, and projected themselves as angels, to a point where people thought that just voting for UPND would be a panacea to all their problems. But we're also learning now that people learn as well. And this is the reason why I feel for those who, on behalf of the many others who have not spoken today, who are regretting that they were misled. They voted for an illusion. And that illusion was created because of the utilization of media space by the UPND. Yes, there were cases of cadreism. Yes, I myself was slapped in public as Minister of Justice. I was slapped by cadres. And I'm happy that I managed to forgive the young man who slapped me. And that was a lesson learned by myself and a lesson learned by many of us in the Patriotic Front, that when we form government, we must ensure that our cadres are not given any space to think that they can get involved in activities that are not building, activities where they feel that they are walking on top of the world and they have the power to do as they wish without reprimand. That is something that we've been working on ever since we lost elections in 2021. And as acting president of the Patriotic Front, I have to say the developments that we've seen because of the constant engagement with our youths is very positive. We have been in various by-elections, and I'm pleased to say there's not been any case at all of violence by our people or acts that bring the name of a cadre into disrepute. Our youths have been conducting themselves in an orderly manner. I did refer to the funeral, for instance. When we were gathering at the PF Secretariat, government officials were on television threatening that the cadres at the PF Secretariat would engage in violence and engage in all sorts of manner of vices. I am proud, as acting president, to report to you, Ambassador, and to report to the viewers that there was no such incidents. Our people conducted themselves in a highly professional manner. And this is what we want to take into the governance that will be in place after 2026 elections. The issues of the national anthem, that's a very important matter. Yes, our national anthem now is being sung just as a song. Time has come for us to start sensitizing our people on the content and meaning of the national anthem. We also ought to sensitize our people on the content of our Constitution. What does our Constitution provide? Our Constitution itself has articles or clauses that inhibit any tribal practices in the governance of the country. We don't need any additional laws at all because the Constitution provides that, first of all, whenever there are appointments in any government and by any government official, the issues of gender must be borne and the issues of regional balancing must be taken account of. The challenge we have at the moment is that not many Zambians have internalized the Constitution. For example, the Constitution itself has a host of principles that every Zambian must abide to. Principles of democracy, principles of good governance, principles of patriotism, principles of the defense of the Constitution. All those are embodied in our Constitution, and I agree with my brother that these are matters that we should sensitize our people on so that our people move together with us. So I agree with my brother Tematema very much about those matters of the national anthem, but I think we ought to include the Constitution. Another question was asked, and if I heard correctly, the question was, are you going as a Tonse Alliance for the 2026 elections, or are you going alone as PF? Our desire in the Patriotic Front, our desire in the Tonse Alliance is that we go into the 2026 elections as a united opposition front. This is the reason why the Patriotic Front is participating and engaging in any and every exercise that is aiming at bringing all well-meaning and like-minded opposition political parties together. There are some opposition political parties that we know are not carrying similar values such as ourselves, and those ones will allow to continue to partner with the UPND. But those that we know are like-minded, we are encouraging that we work with them, we bring all of them on board, so that we to the 2026 elections as a united political party. There was also a question from, I think, Mr. Njovu in the UK, who said something about the judiciary and how they are not handling our matter efficiently and speedily. And he was asking what is our next course of action. I want to say to you, my dear brother, that that is not something that I can divulge on a public platform such as this. The only thing I can say to you is that we are watching the performance of the judiciary over matters that are inhibiting the return of the documents back to the authentic leaders of the Patriotic Front. We're watching that very carefully. We're not losing sight of it. However, we are also alive to the fact that this may actually be protracted for political purposes. And if that be the case, we have other avenues that we're going to use to ensure that the Zambians have an alternative government in place, that they have an alternative political organization to look at, rather than them being given only one party. Because we know that Hakainde's agenda is to ensure that he weakens the opposition so that come 2026, he stands unopposed. We know for a fact that this is the reason why he is also haunting our members of parliament. And I want to say, by and large, we in the leadership of the Patriotic Front are very, very happy with the tenacity of members of parliament, opposition members of parliament. And I'm sure that as we get towards the crossing line, Hakainde Hichilema will not have it easy, because then the members of the Patriotic Front in parliament will realize that there is no more time for Hakainde and his presiding officers to continue to subjugate them to the extent that they are doing right now. Yes, again, I want to say, save for the misunderstanding that probably father was being tribal, I, however, listened to his passion. I can feel the passion in him. And he and many other Zambians share that passion, that they brought us where we are today. And it is only fair that we allow them to join us in lamenting the fact that we Zambians made a very big mistake. But also, as a Christian myself, I want to say to Father, Father, cry not, because what happened in 2021 may actually have been divine. I would like to just ask people who have been following the politics of Zambia, hadn't Hakainde Hichilema been declared winner? I'm not saying hadn't he won, I'm saying hadn't he been declared winner in 2021? Had ECL continued, what could have happened to that rhetoric from Hakainde Hichilema? In 2021, he already convinced Zambians that he was an angel. And he called us names. He called us corrupt. Can you imagine what could have happened hadn't he been declared winner? I think that Zambians would not have been sitting pretty, because they would have been saying, this man who is God sent has been denied an opportunity. But that was God's own will. As far as I'm concerned, thank you, God. I just have to thank God that it happened. Because now people are capable of comparing, not rhetoric against practice, but now they're capable of comparing practice. They are capable of comparing deeds. They are capable of comparing abilities. They are capable of comparing governance styles. And I'm sure that many Zambians know now that not everything that glitters is gold. And now people have come to the realization that there are some politicians who are very witty. They know how to twist their tongues to a point where they convince you that if you vote for them at 10 hours, at 12 hours, the dollar exchange to the kwacha will have improved tenfold. That they would tell you that they have friends in the United States of America who have lined up $25 million, and that the day that they are declared, the $25 million will be transferred into Zambian treasury. At least Zambians have learnt this. And I think let's not lament. Let's say thank you, God, for giving us the opportunity to judge so that we can know better how to vote in 2026. For those who are giving me encouragement to be strong, I certainly will continue to be strong, especially that I'm strong with very strong members of the Patriotic Front in the Central Committee, my colleagues in the National Executive Committee, my colleagues in the Tonse Alliance, and of course, the general members of the Patriotic Front. Somebody asked me, what is the challenge for growth in Zambia? And the second question he asked was, what is your priority for Zambia in the event that you were elected to lead Zambia? I'll combine the two. And my answer to that is that the major challenge that we have in Zambia is that we're forgetting who Zambia belongs to. The Hakainde Hichilema regime has forgotten that Zambia is an endowment for Zambians. And if there is anything that ought to be done, is to change the mindset of the leader. The leaders in Zambia must come to the acceptance of the fact that there is no other country to which those Zambians belong except Zambia. And everything that is done must be done in the interest of Zambians first. Those endowments of Zambia must be for the beneficiation of Zambians. Those minerals that are being extracted must be extracted and exploited for the benefit first of Zambia. We must be Zambia-centric. All our decisions must be Zambia-centric. When our people produce maize, as we say they have done this year, we must not be quick to say we're going to export our maize. 1 million metric tons we shall export before we see that there will not be hunger in 2 years' time in the event of a drought. We must secure the interests of Zambians before we think about making personal money. Because as a matter of fact, as things are today, Ambassador, when maize was exported, maize which Edgar Lungu left in silos, how much money went to government treasury? None. Because unfortunately, that maize was exported without any export excise duty. I happen to have been Minister of Agriculture, and I can tell you, Ambassador, that we also decided to export maize, but we only exported after we had ensured that there was sufficient reserve for 3 years. The surplus is what we exported. And those people who came and took over from us and were claiming that the maize was going to get rotten do not know what agriculture is. Because in agriculture, just like in any strategic reserve, you have a system of replenishment. The older product is sold to be replaced by the new product. But you still maintain the strategic reserve. For whose interest? Zambia. Now we're exploiting our maize. Today, Ambassador, you and I have heard about a $1 billion credit that has been paid to Kansenshi for gold. Tell me how much of what that 1 billion has gone to government treasury? Zero. Why? Because we have a government that is not Zambia-centric. They are not thinking about Zambia, they are thinking about their friends who have fat bank accounts. We left mineral royalty tax at 8%. What did they do? 4%. They came and said, this mineral royalty tax shall now be tax deductible. Meaning that even that $1 billion, which we should have been saying this money is coming to benefit Zambians, is not even coming into economy. It's not coming into our economy. Not even the mineral royalty tax will come into our economy. We have to change that mindset. We have to make sure that everything we do is evolving around Zambia. That is our priority. We in the Patriotic Front have not lost the vision of our founding president to be pro-poor. Everything we do, we must ask ourselves, how is it impacting on the lives of the poorest of the poor in our country? Because if you take care of the poorest of the poor, then you know that the rich will also benefit. If you take care only of the rich, then you also should be aware that the poor will only receive breadcrumbs. Let us change the paradigm. Let's make sure that our interest as a government is focused on the most vulnerable. Let us make sure that we are Zambia-centric. Let me also now end by thanking people like Linda Banks and all those who confessed that they assisted Hakainde Hichilema to remove Edgar Lungu and the PF from government. Thank you for being candid. I'd like to enjoin you to come with us. Come, my dear brothers and sisters. We have only one country. We Zambians only have one country. But even you who are not Zambians, you must bear in mind that Zambia is a country which is not an island. It is a participant in the SADC region. It is a participant on the African continent. It is a participant in the global economy. And the manner in which our democracy grows impacts on other countries. The manner in which our economy grows and the manner in which the lives of Zambians are improved impacts on all of us. We're into this together. We do not subscribe to the idea that Zambia should be made an island. And this is the reason why we in the Patriotic Front, being Zambia-centric, we are also Pan-Africanists. And we shudder to imagine that we have a country which is opening, or rather creating disagreements in the sub-region. And the case of Edgar Lungu's motto remains is a case in point, where the government of the Republic of Zambia, because of their lack of sensitivity to the plight of the family, and because of their desire to have the mortal remains of Edgar Lungu in front of them, they even drag another country into a court in their own jurisdiction. That is against the Vienna Convention, and no state must be allowed to do that. And as a Zambian, I feel that this is totally unacceptable. It's diabolical that my own country can risk the neighborly relations with South Africa by dragging the Minister of International Cooperation of South Africa into court over a matter that we as Zambians should have been able to handle without creating so much despondency and so much disagreement. What about the issues of the AFRICOM? These are matters of regional interest. The SADC already agreed, Ambassador Mwamba. You were ambassador for many years. You know that the SADC said they will not allow any country in the SADC to host a military base of any of the superpowers? What about the African continent? The African Union also decided that Africa will not be used as a base for any military base of the superpowers. And yet, we have a country, my country, being the one that is breaching all this. Remember that our founding father, Dr. Kenneth David Kaunda, was one of the pioneers in the establishment of the non-aligned movement. We did not want to align ourselves to the West or to the East. We said we will be an African and will be non-aligned together with other countries, some of which are outside the continent of Africa. And yet now, when it comes to the matter of Russia against Ukraine, we take sides. When it comes to the matter of Morocco and Sahrawi, who do we support? No, we in the Patriotic Front will not allow to bring Zambia's international standing into ridicule, into question. We want to restore Zambia's position as a beacon of peace, because Zambia is the one that has been the center of the settlement of conflict in the region. That is the role that we must play as a country. Ambassador, I have to apologize to you that twice in the past you advertised that I'd appear on EMV, and on both occasions, and unfortunately I did not appear. But I want to assure you, Ambassador, that I know that your program is being followed everywhere, and I make myself available. There are many people who wanted to interact with me on this program, but because of your being kind, you want me to go away safe. But I'll be available for you. I'll be available to your many viewers. I am your servant. Thank you very much for hosting me, Ambassador.
Thank you very much, Acting President, and I'm glad you finally made it. As you've seen from the huge reaction from our people in comments, and the number of views and people that stayed live, the numbers are very huge. So really we hope that we've learned from you, and we are glad that you sacrificed the time. We'll let you, to you the callers, the line is open. I'll allow Honorable Given Winda to go, but he'll be listening to you. I might even call him if you know, for an answer, but we'll allow Honorable Given Winda to leave. Honorable Given Winda, thank you very much, and thank you for what the sacrifices you are putting for the party and for the, for the former First family, the Edgar Lungu family. We appreciate you and thank you very much. God bless you. Caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you, Ambassador Mamba. My name is Dennis Nyangwe, calling you from Canada.
Yes, Dennis.
Ambassador, thank you for this good program, and thank you for hosting the acting president for PF. What he has said, truly, I am so much impressed. My only contribution today, I'll talk to all that are listening. Let us desist from this tribalism. This tribalism thing came because of UPND. They embarked on a motto to divide Zambians, and then at the end of it, it works for them. But we should not allow that. We Zambians, just like our founding father, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, said, one Zambia, one nation. That is what we are. We should never allow anyone to come and divide us. For me, I'm a Zambian. My tribe is Zambian. I don't look at a Zambian to be from which part of Zambia. I look at a Zambian to be a Zambian. So whoever speaks about tribalism, just know that this person does not mean well for Zambia. We are all Zambians. Thank you, Ambassador Mwamba. God bless you. We are listening. And trust me, Ambassador Mwamba, you've brought hope to many Zambians. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's hear from you. You had something to say. We're hosting the former Vice President, the former Minister of Justice, who is the current acting president of PF. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
from West London. Walishani wa mwamba.
Kwa iba munkonge walishani.
Awo endifyo wa mutende.
Endita.
Nachwano kurande baraba kora bashituma nombe nshitana ipwana alaranda kufya mashiwi. Aya kukoseresha barubinda mubefi abashipa. Lero chali becha shupo muntu ngako nkanyo kurufyanya. Kurabo kwisa mukuchita overreacting. Wasita overreact. Abantu baresa mukumona yo wasita overreact kwasita uri bino. Abantu abarandaranda tabashi bari leadership yeno ko yafuma. Tabali koro mware chita petition. Mutu 01 nabasata pamura ndo abamazoka. Tabali ko mware chita destroy leadership iri bombere y'abadani kalale. Ukufika na popo mufikire beni byabashipa. Utungurushi bwenu bukaranga abantu kutira. Uri ntungurushi mwari kwatano mutumo washipa. Iliyo bamazoka bafuire. Tuwapokera na tribalism nomba abantu tabachira ndapo because UPND yali anda bamazoka tatwakwetepo ubwafya kwa kusontana tribalism. Nomba after leadership yachinje ya UPND wekansa yali yaire kurafe yatushana parupene upo tuberere. Then barubinde chintu chimu mukese kumedia mukese tuweba ko discipline mwara panga pa banesu bakada because icharengere sana uko batufunye mupawa tebuferi awa abantu abengi baliroesha sana pali katalizimu Yesu yalisatureterera so pali ino istandero mbako leadership irange kumbakuru balirwa bakada kyambi okumwaneko okutira kikwera na bena bali isumino kwe bati bali rufyenye tabakabe mu behavior imoine kwena opomperere.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, please call. If you want to be heard, quickly call. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador. Anonymous. I'm very happy with the presentation by the acting president of the PF. And he has instilled, I think he has given us an assurance, though my worry is still on the mobilization of the PF members countrywide, because currently people, I think many of the people, they don't know which way to go. But this clear information that the President Luvinda said instills confidence in all of us. Nevertheless, I think we should ask him and his leadership on what programs they have in order to mobilize the general membership and those disappointed people by this government. You see, the election of 2026, like I said in other presentations, will just be between PF and UPND, plus disappointed millions by the government of Zambia. They have not fulfilled promises, so there are so many. When you find 10 people, you find that only one is in support of the current government. The 9, they are disappointed. So you ask the President Luvinda to give us an assurance of how they are going to mobilize the people up to 2026. Thank you. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's take some more call. You have something to say? This is your program. We're hosting Honorable. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba. This is the Anonymous calling you from Lusaka, Zambia.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Thank you very much. You know how things have become in our country.
That is okay.
First and foremost, we want to continue commending you for your resilience and steadfastness. We continue praying for you to ensure that you continue with the good work that you are doing. Firstly, allow me, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, to thank Honorable Given Ruinda for the excellent and exceptional leadership that he has shown throughout this whole period. The man is very stable and he has provided guidance, and he has proven that even in a crisis, there must be leadership. Honorable Given Ruinda, thank you very much. We are observing the work that you are doing. Now, secondly, let me say that the circumstances in which our sixth president, Edgar Lungu, died are not in any different in the circumstances in which Madam Edith Nawaki died. Madam Edith Nawaki equally was denied access to go and get medicine somewhere, knowing fully well that this lady is sick, and the lady had even to put it on record for the entire world to know that she is sick. But this government continued denying her treatment and locking her up in cells, knowing that this person is on drugs that would extend the life. So I don't know what it is and what you expect when somebody is supposed to go for treatment, you deny them treatment. Now, in conclusion, we would appeal to this government, say, please, let us please, that family has suffered enough. President Daga in the Ijrem. That family has suffered. And you see, there's no person who has suffered beyond, like that. You can simply imagine the trauma, the trauma that woman is going through. So please, we're asking to say, please, this is like what happened on the funeral of Edith Nawaki. I was shocked that he came and imposed himself as the chief mourner there. I think this is what we are trying to avoid in this case. There is no way a person suspected to be the cause of someone can come and claim to be a chief mourner on a funeral. So, Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, I just thought that I shouldn't be left out on this fantastic program where you featured President Given Rwanda. I've been observing his leadership. It's very exceptional and very excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's hear you as we begin to wind up. Hello, caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Caller, tell us where you are calling us from.
This is Mwewa from Livingston.
Yes, Mwewa.
Yeah, Ambassador, I was maybe for about 2 to 3 minutes. I would want to touch first on the issue of the Tonse. I wanted to ask Mr. Rwanda on the issues with the to do with Mr. Rwanda is a rainbow according to his skin, but there are some fears that maybe his parents might not be Zambians according to the cross, which is in our constitution that both parents must be Zambians. So that one would want also to get a clarity on it.
Okay,
and
thank you.
The other thing is that how do we bring PF to the ballot next year? Because what I've seen in the Tonse Alliance is that the other members are taking advantage that PF doesn't have a party, so they should be treated according to how they want to be treated, because those are their political parties. Now, this indicator that we've gotten from Honorable Sean Tembo, the president of PEP, is an indicator of what we might face next year. If PF doesn't bring itself to the ballot, official PF, not any other party, even if we are going to have other Tonse Alliance members, we should have the ownership of the PF. Now, how do we bring PF to the ballot next year? That's the question I'm posing to Mr. Given Rwanda.
Thank you very much.
And then the other thing is, Ambassador, I would want to talk a bit about Mr. Rwanda, Honorable Rwanda. Honorable Rwanda, according to what he said earlier, he said that he wanted to retire somewhere in 2019. But after we lost power in 2021, 2 weeks later, President Lungu to plead to him so that he can take up the mantle. And I remember very well, during the 2021 convention, we had about, not the convention, those who applied to be presidents, there were 8. And out of those 8, Mr. Rwinda wasn't there, which also shows that he is a man who's also not power hungry. Now, like I said earlier, on the confusion, what's the way forward, especially in relation to people like, I'll mention their names, people like Mr. Munduvile. Mr. Munduvile is appearing on those 8 who wanted to contest as the presidential candidate for the PF. But what we have seen is that Mr. Sean Tembo endorsed Mr. Munduvile publicly on OTFM. And when you look at the language that was coming from Mr. Sean Tembo, he actually looked at he actually said that we don't want hijackers to, such statements. So I would also want to get to Mr. Mundu and appeal to him to say, the battle we are fighting here is a greater battle. It's about the future of this country. Like the way Mr. Donosco said, that priest, it's a serious battle. So any selfish interests must be off. So
thank you very much. My brother, good evening, and tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Anonymous from the land of AI. I just have a couple of comments that I would like to make. The lady that called after Father Mpombo, Ambassador, I think she should also go and advise the UPND leader, Hakainde Hichilema, and reprimand him on his tribal leadership, the same way she called out Father Mpombo on the way he makes appointments, the way that HH makes appointments on tribal and regional lines. You see, I think tribalism remains a political tool that UPND has been using since Mapatizia 2006. This party has used tribalism so shamelessly, and then they turn around and pretend to be victims. Okay? The general public in Zambia are not tribal. So a politician, especially by UPND, by Cheme. Secondly, and very briefly, on the opposition, I think there is no option other than unity when it comes to 2026. Any political party or movement that will go on it alone, they will be doing so as a betrayal to the country. So I would like to call on all the political parties and all the movements that are mushrooming to check themselves, not to betray the nation, but to unite. Because I think that call has been made very clear. And I doubt that it will die out to just become louder. And anybody who will attempt to try and be a hero and stand on their own, will assume that they've been paid by UPND to divide the votes. That was my contribution, Ambassador Mwamba. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba. This is Gabriel Kimombo, member of the Central Committee for the Patriotic Front.
Oh, yes, my dear brother.
Yes, Ambassador, I want to address 2 things. I think some of it have been, most of it have been well explained by our able acting president. But I want to touch on 2 things. One is the matter that is sensitive, but we should not shy away from. This is a matter of issues of tribe and tribalism and tribal politics. I'm touching on it because I personally, from the onset, want to say that the blame for this tribal division in the country lies squarely on President Hakainde Hichilema as well as the UPND government. You see, under the Patriotic Front, we had a Ministry of Religious Affairs, and we had a Ministry of Traditional Affairs. These ministries were very, very important, very critical, because when you want to deal with issues of division, hate, tribalism, hate speech, all those things,
these things are supposed to be dealt with at institutional level. You cannot solve a problem, a matter that requires love and peace. You cannot solve it by punitive measures. You cannot enact a law where you say you will go to jail or you will be punished for something that anybody can argue. It's a matter of perception. So by today, Ambassador Mwamba, and I know you like to be very factual and academic, today, if we had to create a hypothesis and if we had to ascertain the documents that are before the courts and before the police, I can assure you that 99% there will be a bias regarding which region, which tribe is reporting the other. So that clearly shows that you cannot use a law to solve such a problem. What you need is to take an approach where you pursue love, you pursue bringing people together. And how do you bring people together? You ride on the church, you ride on the traditional leaders. And on that regard, President Hakainde Hichilema failed us. Because for the UPND, everything for them has to be a punishment. People want to speak, you enact a Cyber Security Act law, and you gag them, and you punish them. People want to address real issues around division, again, you want to punish them. You cannot govern a country by threats. People must be allowed to speak. People must be allowed to express themselves. This is what entails democracy. Then the second thing that I wanted to address is a matter that my colleague who just talked about, the issue of Tonse Alliance. To be honest, as a member of the Central Committee, I'm not at all impressed with the attitude of President Sean Tembo. And this I can say in my personal capacity. I'm not impressed because as a spokesperson, your job of a spokesperson is to go and announce to the people the deliberations of the meeting that was held. But how many times have you seen Sean Tembo go out there and address the press, hold the press conference, press release, based on what? Who gave you those resolutions that you're communicating? That is gross indiscipline. And there is no way Sean Tembo can, on one hand, say he acknowledges that the chairmanship of Tonse should be coming from the Patriotic Front. But he wants the members of the Tonse to choose a leader who should represent the Patriotic Front. What if Ambassador Mwamba, they pick me to be the Tonse Alliance leader or chairman? Or if they pick you, what relationship are we going to have with the acting president? What relationship am I going to have with the with our substantive secretary general? Who will be answering to who? That confusion that he's trying to bring is deliberate. And no Zambian who wants to see a united opposition can ride on what Sean Tembo is doing. So, honestly, I think these two matters, I know the rest the president has dealt with them, but these two matters I thought I should bring them to the public attention and express my dissatisfaction. One, the disappointment that President Hakainde Hichilema is trying to use punitive measures to promote love. That can never work. That equation does not exist. Number two, that Sean Tembo is trying to prescribe to the anchor party on who the anchor party should recommend to lead the Tonse Alliance. That is again an equation that can never work. So these two matters, I thought I should put them on the table, Ambassador Mwamba.
MCC, I'm very grateful. Thank you for the support. Thank you very much. And thank you for putting those matters clearly. Caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Kelvin, please make your contributions.
So in the contribution and the for your Kuranda, and for your Ichakualida Pondefo, Kutasha Mwamba, program Martin de Kako and Shiralana to which now Shikunish to the ones. So each one before you Kuranda Chakueva team. I want to wear Suba UPN, why some Subantu, why Safie Muisakamanawe, Kosha. Echalenga sasanga chali tupapusha kubeni kwebaikala kumishi mwalasango kwebati nangu babo mfino chitoko turepokerera atonga beka baresa mkuwo ebale bama bosses mu school ema head teachers banani Ekyo kirepiwa ekireta kyapawuta tukuke bati. Abo bantu tebasakamana bena Zambia. Tebasakamana ku party yabwera ine bafumako. Ekyo ndikwayo okwewa, ndikwayo okwesha okulanda kuli alliance ya PF okutiina beekatane kyapama. Ekesa tulekeresha mukulekeresherwa kese mukupaturukana. Ififi ne baleetera bonse nga baayisa bagize mulinda baayisa banani baayisa mwabayisa pamito na bena
bana mulelandileni mufoni
emkwene bafoni ndelandira
iyo mwachiwa kutalisana na foni landeni.
Okay, so nakishalanda okweba ati ile ndefo yafyo kukoseresha alliance yesu
ifyo twachumfwa so ndweleleni
okutira tube kyapamo ero bekesa kusana mukulekeresha pakutira no wakukonka kabule so ndekoseresha bonzo okutira okwina kwikatana eko batwalire ero twakula twalire okumikonka bakula ishwira pona fimbi kustura ishwira pona fimbi nefyo tushaishi natotera bamomba wesu.
Thank you very much. Thank you. The calls are so many, but we may have to close. Yes, my brother. Hello, you are live. Please tell us where you're calling us from. Yes. Wangu.
Olaba kuchipata bale bomfya abantu beso nomba nomamona pattern umuntu wesu balamu bomfya ala leta confusion and then later on ulo yesu ngatana nkan ndabamu bomfya kumusonda no kumutwala kujeri mule file chika kuli abapusana mule ni file kubapusana but after baba bomfya bale batwala kujeri. I can even see Chabingo kuya kujeri. I'm not a prophet, but I can see that daughter.
Thank you very much. Let's hear from you quickly. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello. I'm going to remain anonymous, if that's all right.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you for bringing Honorable Given Luwinda, and I like the fact that he did not focus on tribalism, because I think it's one of the tools that the current regime is going to use, because they've failed so horribly. They want to bring tribalism, the word, as the main one that is being spoken of by Zambian, the one that's dominant in the press and is dominant everywhere, and we can't focus on the issues where they're failing. So I'd like to remind Zambians that this is a president who hasn't declared his wealth, as far as I know, and reasons why we don't know. He hasn't moved into State House. Reasons why, we have no idea. But also I'd like us to ask ourselves questions. Are we better off since the UPND came into government? Cost of living, are you happier? You know, is it cheaper to survive? I mean, electricity, do you feel things have improved? Are things working? For those who had businesses, they've lost them because there's no electricity. Are you better off? So perhaps these are questions that we ought to ask ourselves. And then also, do you feel safe? Do you feel free? Can you speak freely without being afraid that someone is going to nab you or they'll get rid of you? So these are questions that you ask yourselves daily. And then when the election comes, make sure you vote wisely. And another thing I was very disappointed is the taking of the widow to court, Mrs. Lungu. And then it makes me wonder, why wouldn't they wait for the court proceedings? Because they took this to court in the first place, and then they're sending letters in wanting to view the body. That is really, really disappointing. And then there's so many things that are disappointing for me for this president. The deaths in Fumbwe, he just sounds like really cold. There was no warmth, there was no condolences as far as I know. That was very disappointing. So is this what we think we can do? Is this the best that we can do as Zambians? So let's ask ourselves those questions, and then also make sure that when we're voting, we have that in mind. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm calling you from Zambia's district.
Make your contribution.
Yes, this is Mr. Sunday Garapelo from Zambia's district. Yeah, it is very sad for what is happening here in Zambia, and for the first time, I think, in southern region, for what is happening here in Zambia. Because there's nowhere whereby the head of state, the former head of state, issues up to date. People are still fighting. Politicians, you politicians, I don't know, because even myself, it is very difficult to join politics. Because mother body, they've tried by all means so that the government and the family can sit down and solve the issues. Because the person who is there was once a president for this nation. So the people for Zambia, they would love to send off dignity to the former head of state. But now politics and the family members, they've destroyed the whole process. So we are very much embarrassed. I think even the outside countries, the way they are observing what is happening here, I don't think if our head of state has family members who can handle these issues. Because myself, if I was the uncle, the son, the grandchild to the former head of state, I think I would have not tolerated this what is happening now.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. You made your point very clear. Let me take the last few calls. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm calling you from US.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Mwamba, I just want to say something that I'm seeing which is happening in our country. We have seen how the former first family, how they have been suffering in South Africa. And we could see the president is not even concerned with what he's doing. Another thing, Mr. Mwamba, which we are concerned about the Mufumbe issue. The president has been dragging to saying you killed Sibulo every time. We have asked the president to tell us how many people died. And we are asking the president to give us all the names of the people who died in Mufumbe. We haven't heard anything from UPND. They are quiet up to now. Another thing that I've observed, Ambassador Mwamba, it is like our president enjoyed to do the body viewing. When you see this funeral which was there, he enjoys to see the body. It is like it's part of him. That's why you can see he's crying for the body of our former president. It is like he enjoys to see the bodies of the people who have died. So to that, there must be something that is behind why he always wants to be on top of everything. Even the speech that was speaking in the church, you can be able to see that he had nothing to offer the people who are mourning. He just wanted people to know that he's there, Mr. Mwamba. Is this how we will be living? If you don't have what to say, it's better you keep quiet, you leave it to other people to talk. Mr. Mwamba, I want also to thank our president, Mr. Luvinga. He's there to lead the party. And you can see, even when he's talking, we can be able to say he's there to deliver for Zambian people. If we are saying Mr. Luvinga can be our president, our candidate, we know to say he can deliver. Thank you, Mr. Mwamba.
Thank you very much. Just a minute. I take this call. I'll take the last 3 calls and then we can wind up. Thank you, great callers. Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Mkwaiba Zambia landeni po.
Mkwai. Bamwamba nachafana ndo kwa mwabombeni.
Endita.
Nachafana ino kulanda kofye pera shirawa father Mpombo. Bafya shibaria bachiranda 15 turu. Chimo kwati wali kwatabana. Wose mwali kwata company. No munobe na wali kwata company. N'abana. Pero then iwe abana bobe. Yonse ne Paulo wakwata company mbere bofya abana bobe. Tashe pure tinsin tribe. Iwo nombo mukyacho walaza kamna nishinshina chitakubana. Efe achiralo shamba Mpombo. Because if for bantu turatu kosa cha PF ngiara tufika ko muri wafi. Then umuntu mburi muri amunine wala mugushisha mukutushisha. Mama kai hope nga pafuna wapala okwa abantu bakwata. So never ingaranda kwa tura tukiro kukonde masano kubula mufe point ile mfika kwa chirimbire kusupporta yara kurenga ube bita raso tukura bafe bita lyo sefe tukura babakalipa chira kushiku. Nokura bafe fino lefo takireti story. Baraba sister bachiranda bachafu kutakireti ama stories aya kufi. Bas bafada bachafu straight. Tabachibika po triple maki ayo ababa babi na kuba umutundu ubyuyo bachira complain abana babo. Okuchiko tiyori kuside obero bare kumwene shamu bali abantu babi. So chimbezo ninganda bakobati bambi tufire twaikatana again muri yine tureye support aba leaders aba beyitemwa ngefe achanda bafada bozo future na mutima yezo future tontonkai so bene bekatane noju mwakara shabana ko bayudaskaro titaba bali 10 epo Jesus kasa ko tefye umuno banga wa 10 mwana yakwisa topari shimwana pera urawide no muleta Goliath ukapita wewe chap.
Thank you. Hello caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Honorable Mamba.
Good evening, my dear brother.
It's me, Rob. I'm from Manchester. I think
yes, Rob.
The call that just had, I think, is just clarified what I wanted to say. I think the issue, I think, at the moment is when you have an issue, and you have to remember, Mpombo he was talking about his people. He wasn't talking about a different tribe. So with him the question was, why are my people behaving a certain way? And that's the right way of thinking. Instead of him just ignoring the issue. And like what the previous caller said is, I know our father said a lot of things, but his way of thinking, I know we've had this conversation, is to understand. If you've got an issue, for instance, an issue of racism in a town, you will have to accept that it's an issue. And that's how you find a solution. And even for him, as a Bemba man, he was just trying to figure out exactly why are these people behaving the way they are behaving? Are they putting the interest of the country first, or is there something that we're missing? Because we have to know numbers do not lie. Even when you look at the number of people that are being prosecuted or being harassed in the country, when you look at that list, which probably we could go through it tomorrow on your show, you'll be surprised in terms of the people that are there. So I think people will just come and defend. I think they need to probably rewatch the clip again and see where the father was coming from.
No, I think caller, you are very right. Father Pombo is a regular caller on this one, and those that haven't heard him today, those that have listened to him, he is very clear on condemnation of tribalism. His choice of words could have been poor. I love his anger. But he's a regular caller here. If you have heard him, he's very consistent on condemning tribalism. Maybe his choice of words today were poor, and he will likely be misunderstood. But for regular callers who are on this show, they know him and Professor Kasonso are very clear on the condemnation of tribalism, that it shouldn't be in our country.
And just to add on that, he's helped a lot of people in Europe, especially in Italy, when it comes to the issue of racism and to integration. So he has no ounce of tribalism or racism in him. think the issue for him was just the issue of where, when you look at what is happening, and then he's probably asking himself questions, thinking, why am I people? Not like the Zambians, but what's going on with this trend of what is it that I'm missing? You know, so it's not like he was attacking any tribe or anything. I understand this topic can be taken in different direction, but I think people need to, listen and come.
No, it will need time. We may need time and bring experts and we discuss it in a sober manner. Yeah. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Mr. Ren from Chibata.
Yes, please speak up and tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Okay, so my name is Gift from Chibata.
Yes, Gift, make your contributions quickly.
Yes, so Honorable Lungu was on this platform talking about all sorts of things. So for me, I think, you see, Mr. Mwamba and your colleagues, the Patriotic Front has been in the political space for many years. From 2001, I think, when Michael Sata became the president of the party, when it was founded, somewhere there, but I may not be right. But look, you guys were in opposition for a period of 10 years. Michael Sata carefully set out a good plan for this country. He ran his race, he became president in 2011. We had Edgar Lungu 7 years. To be honest, I strongly believe that you guys have gone into political extinction. Because when I look at the nature of your criticism, the manner in which you criticize, and my humble appeal, Ambassador Mwamba, is that you should not cut me on this platform. So that if it's having an intellectual discourse, let's have it on this platform, on your platform. I'm not going to disrespect anyone, but I'm just going to be very, very objective.
Thank you very much. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador Mwamba. Good evening, Honorable Luvinda.
Thank you.
Kwakaputa kuno mkwai ushabalengo mfwa.
Endita wakaputa landeni po mkwai.
Mkwai. Ndefo okubika pofi parwa chilanda wa father pombo ku Italy. You know, I think maybe ileshita tuwa kwa chile po ichililo cha tampile cha wakateka walungu. Twalilandile fintu fwali fish pia chitike pantu imiti mayalinda wike sana. Inena alilandile pokutila. Ima mwewe na Zambia, wene muloleke shini mwewe abako opposition. Kwebati, ba president hakainde, pakutite chintu icha alubana kuli PF, the largest opposition party, na pia na reference, na tubushe, awa afumile na ma election, na ma vote saye, ama seat saye, ngikoni nani like PF in the history of ama parties ya alusa, like UNIP, MMD, na PF apayalusa PF ya kwatire pwayenge elo nalanda nati PF baisa ichita hijack ba hakainde ba bomfeshe Mao Sampa na Chavinga aba northern na eastern. So what Mpombo is ba father Pombo is saying we want to kwale sabe na Zambia konsoko muli ba Pombo ba father Pombo na ina winene ulelanda pano tatulelanda pa mitundu tatule patulula tulelanda fe mutsungu ife balanda tiko spade. Since natumana ati ba president akainde pako naula opposition ikulupo babu mfeshe umuntu wa Eastern Zambia no wa Northern Zambia na pakutibona ule political reputation yaba president Lungu babu mfeshe bachishimba kambwiri aba Northern province so fish twala fili rokulumbule fifintu so that uyonso of Northern province na Eastern na kumbi belamu itamkumpela amafisa kanwa pako naula or any opposition party na nguchili chonse chalo ndroka for the state. So tatule lumbwila imitundu I am a provinces nangu imitundu yafuma ko pantu natu batemu natu tafo kuitabisha kuli ababambi awe mwene niba honorable mwetwa bali fuma pa uta pano pa YouTube balando kwebati we used Kambuili to make the whole country hate the President Lungu. bamuwonfya chishimba kambwiri bamuwonfya maosamba bali paino ino nshita bali wonfya chavinga so ba father pombo ife balelanda na ine wine fina fikwete fina fitontonkanya nati oh my god chishi twala bela used umsango chishi uyu mutundu no uyu mutundu kashi mkwaita tulelanda tutaluke kumitundu yimbi abantu bonse abaliko abasambirire school abakaunda up to even ba president Lubinda ba president Hakainde Loline once we basambireko free education yabakaunda you are more of more understanding that tribalism takwali in the kaunda through into UPN MMD PF chato toboka sana eririne kwali bepinda lya kuchalo kumbi ilio balanda ati why are eggs breaking in your hands bonse wale perisha nyama ntali itobika imitundu 72 has been carried along by President KK Kiluba Rupia Banda Levi Wanawasa Vambini banani ba Rupia Banda na ba bonse ba Lungu iyo ine akainde wafika pwelelo icha mutundu chakosa muchibemba bala kuipusha muchibemba every language has a proverb muchibemba bala kuipusha chakoza shani paliwe ni wowe ine kanshi bantu ubufuide ubushikufuide omkote ichimbwinga cha nyemfui it means it's the hyena that has killed and swallowed eaten rather the old man and that's how come in the stew of the hyena there is gray hair. I hope much to understand. Chilubo chabo bakainde so nga twabasonta pukati chilubo tatubapatire kubatemwa twabatemwa but nomba tatwaikalire mukupatulwe fupantu nga twasambirire nokufyalo nshite hakwa kaunda to now it means twalichita intermarry twalikuwa tabe shikulu beso abatongana abalozi nfabo bana kunchimunya so ulenta mfishashani pa utonga nindebo bana kululiswani so I've got a lozy son who has married a lozy woman and we have a lozy name in the family. We are one Zambia, one nation. So you know, once we were matching between now, to promote tribalism. No. You see, apo bachifishewa kainde na pakosa. So to bring it down, you really have to be brave. Muchibemba atibushenga tualanda ponish tuakosa tuakasa ingoma amafi. They are saying, is it wrong to point at such an ugly mistake? It's not. You just have to be brave and say it chilubo. Mkwaina totela ba ambassador twalile nkwe mirimu.
Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Wamwamba, what happened today?
Yes, my brother.
Take my call. I've been trying the whole day.
Already, I have 560 missed calls just on one phone. So please make your contribution.
Now, before I start addressing let me address Vampom. Now, Yom Kashano. Vampombo was right. Okay? He was sounding a warning. The tactics of UPND is divide and rule. And he was telling us that we have to be careful. They are using one side to attack the PF in particular. Okay, and the pattern is not a coincidence. Bamwamba, this goes to you as well. If anyone comes with a sack or a bag of money and you flip on us, we will come after you. Okay, this is not time to play political games. The country is on fire. We have to be serious. Okay? So that woman was trying to be cute. We can see through her. What she was trying to say is nonsense. Okay? Now, Balubinda, he needs to give us a signal. Okay? What we need now is a transitional figure. He's in South Africa. I am in South Africa. We had Mandela here. Lubinda, here we see him as a transitional figure. Okay? Lubinda can take us up to 2030, and then you people can start playing politics. We need to put our politics in order. Okay? And I cannot see any other person, Ngaba Lubinda. So please, if you speak to him, I'm gonna rally people here. We have to have Valwinda there to steady the ship and take us to 2030, and then you people can start your politics. Thank you.
Thank you. Last two calls, the lucky two calls. Who will be the last two callers? Who will be the last two callers? Who will be the last two callers? I see there are so many missed calls. Wakola mwabombeni. Busheni ba mabo aba.
Emkwai ambassador Nikwe.
Emkwai ba mabo, please landen poni momo ala sondo elela.
Ikafine.
Emkwai momo kweta maka kusondo elela lelo.
It's an honor, ambassador. I'm a Chinese but what are saying at scientific in the bench and good health is the capital of revolution. Nali mona mailo got mwadi woka kachero mwadi fe almost the whole day. Mishe muletu shamulifena buino.
Yata tuletusha bane fina pano no alala ko 1 hour 2 hours, but I am putting attention to my health, of course, because the program is in its formative time. I have to get a co-anchor, and the time differences between Zambia and South Africa is not really helping. But there are things that need to be done for our country for now.
Exactly, Ambassador, please take care of yourself. You know, we don't want to be losing pundits and people who, you know? I will take care of yourself, Ambassador. We are very proud of you. Then, yeah. Father Pombo is a member of my community and he's really a good man. Just like Zama Catholic priests we have there, most of them are in Rome. They are from all over Zambia, from different tribes. And Ambassador Inenaria Kuluapula in Zambia, I decided to take a public bus sentiments from bus Makumansa to go Kabwe. There was a gentleman, in his 60s, he was telling Chalumbre Ministry Babumbako is a civil servant. A permanent secretary Mwana Kashumutonga. Then this man was complaining to me, you know, this lady was telling me, we will be using useful idiots amongst you to advance our interests. If everybody you know. So that Father Pombo Kutila. Maybe I'm tribal sentiments. We should be honest with ourselves as Zambians. It's something very, very strong amongst ourselves, and on the ground, people say it brutally. It's our time. And then we will use some useful idiots amongst you to advance our cause. This is something I was experiencing. So I hope they don't misunderstand my Father Pombo na idea. Emotional, you know, since it's emotional. It's these same priests there in Italy, you know, sometimes because commissioning of oaths, there are instances when community members of Zambians, they need a commission of oaths and, you know, you can't pay a lawyer, maybe it's the priests like Father Pombo come and stand in for our people. They do a lot of work, and I hope that Father Pombo is not misunderstood by the...
you know, his contributions have Mkwayo Mabo, as president of Zambians in Italy, I was saying Father Pombo is a regular caller. He's a regular caller. Father Pombo is a regular caller to our program. He's a regular caller to our program. And we know his thoughts. He's very, very clear. He condemns tribalism. He condemns racism. And he usually gives an example of himself where sometimes children have come up to him, walked up to him, and, you know, called him names like monkey, like he said in the program. So he condemns tribalism. He condemns racism. It's very clear. Today, the choice of words he used, it is easier to misunderstand him, especially for people that don't know him. And I have called that the matter of tribalism is so serious in our country and so sensitive that unfortunately we have to address that open wound. But it requires time. You can't address it in a sound bite like this. It requires it to some experts. They open, they lay the ground so that people see that we are not malicious and that we are not using this platform to promote or enhance tribal and tribal talk. We have to do it in a manner that is responsible, but it is a cancer eating our country away.
That's 100%, Ambassador. Actually, it's a last year, Ambassador, and if you know what's the embarrassment we're going through as a nation, I think we should get back to the basics. Who has carried Umupashwaba Kaunda? Who has carried Umupashwaba Chu? Who has carried Umupashwaba Monawasa? Umupashwaba Rupia Banda? Umupashwaba Sata? Umupashwaba Lungu? These are men, dignified men who contributed to this nation. Not a fluke, not a opportunists. Who has carried Mipashiaba Bantu? I hope Uktila, Abena Zambia will.
Oh, the phone is dead. The battery is flat for one good reason. It's time to end the program. Na phone na yo yala pila yaba flat. Thank you very much for your contributions, for the many comments and the many missed calls. We are hosting Honorable Given Lewin, the acting president of the Patriotic Front and acting chairperson of the Tonse Alliance on state of the country, state of the political party, and the role of the opposition in defeating the UPND in 2026. So God bless you. God bless our country. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, papa, avec Benobi, ma caméra.
Into court. Now we've heard from the judges. They listened to the submissions and they have told us either tomorrow at the latest of. So let us go back to our homes and let us be united. You shall be informed if the judgment is tomorrow. We'll ask you to come and listen to the judgment. One Zambia, one nation. I want to thank the leadership of the PF in South Africa and to thank all of you Zambians in South Africa. And don't worry about those who are hired to come and make noise up for. For you are doing this because of the love that you have. Please go back to your homes peacefully and let us meet again when we're going to receive the judgment. We also want to thank our brothers and sisters, the South Africans who are supporting us. There are many of our brothers and sisters, South Africans who have come to join us. There are many other Africans who have come to join us. Congolese are also here. Thank you, Malawians. Thank you. Thank you, all Africans who are here. Thank you. Let's remain united. One Zambia, one nation. One Africa, one nation. One Africa.
Muchiri, muchawa mashani, ala wabina wakulekela we mwine tutulewe wakulekela we mwine ichichena chafina wena chakulisha tutule wakulekela we mwine
umumwakweka na umfwina kasemo abati umopalikwe anakila kumushi umonyilinga wenkondo halume ya jabo aponye mfuti yawe aya wenda mutende wenda wayimina ukesa umana
bengi maya ichichena chakalika wakulekela we mwine tutulewe bengi wotusha ichichena chafinisha wakulekela we mwine tutulewe wakulekela we mwine ichichena chafina wena chakulisha tutule wakulekela we mwine ichichena chakalika wakulekela we mwine tulewe wengi wotusha ichichena chafinisha wakulekela we mwine tulewe
kuyalelo tevyo vayepi amitapendwa ya vintu ifisume vyonza kula kwivukisya kanate pochimo wimbo watemenwa katongi abazunga batita katongi nakula kwivukisya kateka kaibukubuna kapona neseko syove pamenso yangu abaume bayae iyaba baume kateka wabantu twakulira lelo twakulira shikakukonke milimo shove Eti kume moku londolo la vale lilo wingi
iseko wingi mwakwete iseko wingi mwakwete mwaya mwende wino tata wesu
katushi muchi mwakege wali bomba kale kama mwatu katuleli laki Chiba ebisebo wapangiri okuyingi okuchinja olusago kumoneko busaka mama kuzituwala basiyani chagwa katuze